Welcome to the base location. Right here, including this area that you can see has already been started on, is going to be our base location, at least for now. From what I understand, well, actually, I should probably give a little bit of background before I start explaining things. Welcome to NHC, or not Hermitcraft. It's a server I was just, I just got into. I applied a little bit ago, a couple days ago, got in, and here we are. From what I understand, this is called Season 4 Ever, meaning they don't really want to try and, like, ever remove this world. Like, it's going to be going, well, forever. So, I guess we have plenty of time to do whatever we want. The goal is to kind of have the same kind of atmosphere as Hermitcraft. So that's, well, why the name is not Hermitcraft, because it's not, but it's, you know. But I've already gone ahead and done some of that boring stuff, which is just like the tools. I haven't even gotten a sword. I'm wearing all iron armor. I did get a starter kind of kit, which had some stuff from, well, some of this I mined. But I got a few starter things from when I got my tour when I first joined. Didn't record that, but I got a little mini tour. There's a shopping district right over here. I don't know if I can see any of it. We'll check it out in a bit. But this is kind of the area that I've claimed. Hopefully nobody else has planned to build here. I put up signs around to tell people to, like, let me know if this has already been claimed, because then I can kind of put this back together. Hopefully nobody is using it just yet, so that I have a little bit of, I guess, free space to work on. But right now I have this area around here. It's going to go back into the forest a little bit, and then I kind of want as much of this island as I'm, like, allowed to get. I don't know who's building around here and what my limitations are going to be. All I've really seen over here is kind of this build area over here. It looks like more of an industrial district, and then that's probably the next closest thing, but I'm only going out to there. If we go free cam, you can see there's a decent bit of distance between me and this person. Not sure who's here. I think it's a few different people. There's people over there, and then that's the shopping district, kind of right past this area. This river leads straight to it. And then I kind of have a plan already for what I want to do here. That being said, some of the things that were on Perplexion, since obviously, well, this is kind of going to replace it. That world is still there. It's still on my server. I own that server, so it's not going anywhere. But it's not really going to be, I guess, played on as much or focused on as much as this one. I think this is going to kind of take over. But because of that, I think I want to bring some of those ideas over here. Oops. Maybe depending on the people, like, around me and stuff, and who wants to actually do it, perhaps we can kind of bring our train idea into here. Maybe work on that trial, like the custom trial, because that was a cool idea as well. Maybe we can bring some of that stuff into this world so that it's not completely gone, but rather just kind of shifted over here. And we have all this area to work with. And I think I'm going to kind of approach it a little bit differently rather than building a giant mountain like I did. I think I'm going to kind of flow with the terrain a little bit more. Obviously right here I've already torn down some of this hill, which is kind of painful without a beacon. But it's fine, I guess. I want to, right now I've only claimed kind of out to there. I've made a generic border around the area I want. It goes all the way over here, actually. I kind of forgot I went all the way out there. But the border kind of comes out from the trees and then runs down this mountain and kind of around here. And right now I have it cutting off here. Depending on where this person wants to expand, I'm not sure who owns that. I've just been on here for, well, 7 hours, you can see. It's kind of, I want to terraform this, and I have a cool idea of what could go here. Oh, I should probably check that out and make sure that that's not something someone's building. But, like, I have a really cool idea for this, in this whole surrounding area, but I don't think I want to tell you right now. I think that's going to be a little bit of a surprise, but I will give a hint, and that hint is the bamboo. That's your hint. That's all I'm giving you for right now. I guess put your guesses in the comments. You can see if you're right. I probably won't tell you if you're right, but you can at least see in the next kind of episode. Or I think I'm going to name these chapters. I guess we'll know once this video comes out, whether I decide to do episodes or chapters. Um, just a different style, I guess. I want to try out some new stuff with editing. Basically just try out a ton of new stuff here. More large scale buildings. I guess one more hint is the base area. This whole area is going to be a custom biome, rather than just like a base. I don't want to do some like mega base, like in terms of like a Prismarine like floating base, which are cool. It's not my style. I like the more natural, whatever you want to call it stuff. So a custom biome is right where I want to go. And you can see down here, I've already started a beach. This was a hill, kind of a cliffside. I want it to smooth out a little bit more. So this also has to be cut back. It's just painful trying to do it without a beacon. But I'm trying to take the early game in air quotes, early game for, well, what it's worth. Because it's nice to kind of have the slower pace, because once you get to the final later game stuff, beacons, netherite stuff, you kind of forget how good you have it. And also it just, I don't know, I like the early game stuff, hence why I have not gone to try and get an elytra. Whilst it would be insanely nice to fly up and down this mountain. One, I don't have rockets. Two, I just don't want an elytra yet, seeing as I've only been on here for 7 hours and I already have diamond tools. But I think that kind of sets the pace for this, or not necessarily pace, but the style I want to buy. I think it's going to be more building, main storyline telling, maybe not storyline, but like main objectives. I don't know. Every time I come up with a giant build, I think that's what these episodes are going to be about, rather than the nitty gritty, kind of enchanting stuff like it was on like the start of Perplexion. But I'm very excited to be on here. We've got a pretty large group of people from what I understand. They all seem like great people. So maybe once, I do know they actually want to start kind of a new shopping district area, so maybe we can get in there, get a little plot of land, and then build a shop there eventually. That means we kind of have to get some resources, because in terms of blocks and resources, we're actually kind of broke. I got tools and instantly started working on this. Don't even have storage, really. I have these 2 chests, and then all of that is resources from digging. So don't have much to my name right now, but that being said, I think I'm going to work on this a little bit more, and then well, I'll see you guys in a sec. Updates, updates, updates. That's what I have for you. Mostly all to do with building. I'm going to try and find a way to not show you all of it just yet. Down here you can see, I haven't worked on this in a hot minute. I'm up to 32 hours already. Oh, try not to show this. I've worked on this beach right here. You just saw a little bit of that. Haven't done much with it. I think I don't know, I got bored of it, so I started doing something else. And that something else is this cliffside. I have gotten permission from both Rosie right here. I believe nobody's over here yet, so this isn't really off limits yet. It's just going to go across the cliff face. It's not going up on the top. I don't know how far this way I'm going to go. It might be a little bit. This is something too, and so is that. I'll show you in a second. But this beach is going to go probably to about here, I think is where I'll stop the beach. Over here is B-Man and a couple other people's industrial district, so I think as long as I stay on the side of the river, that's going to be my kind of safe spot. I got permission to go up to there. They're going to stay on that side of the river as well, so no worries there. And then right here is going to be a lake between mine and Rosie's base, because it's kind of a weird spot. We got to transition it somehow, so there's going to be a lake here, and then we'll kind of transition from what I have going on over here into what she has going on over here. I think this will all be flat. I kind of have it mapped out, I guess. I got to do a whole lot of stuff, or a whole lot of terraining still, terraforming. And this entire thing is going to be mud on the bottom. So I have made a mud farm. I kind of stole it from B-dubs. It's not like the most efficient thing, but for what I'm doing, it's actually way more helpful to have it build a giant block of mud rather than just instantly mine it when it places. The way this works, oh, a little bit of lag. Dirt basically dispenses, makes it mud. Instead of breaking it like you would with the normal farm, it pushes it down, and then eventually this makes a giant block of mud that I can go mine once once it's reached its limits, because it can only go 16 blocks deep. Other than that, you can see I got full diamond armor. It's all maxed out. I got a ton of pickaxes and shovels because I was tired of going back and repairing my pickaxe and shovel each time it was getting low. So I just got a bunch of them so I don't have to worry about it as much. Since I've done that, I haven't done a whole lot of terraforming. So, you know, it is what it is. But I've got a lot to do. But before I can actually start working on what I really want to do for the actual base, I've got to like get, well, the foundation, the infrastructure of the actual land, because if the land isn't shaped how I want it, I can't start building things on top of it. So that's kind of where my mind is at the moment. Kind of been switching off which part of the project I'm doing. So cliffside, digging, and then the lake, of course. That's the most recent addition that I've been working on. I got to transition this all out from mud to grass. I'll probably throw some little rocks around here as well. I kind of started to do that here. It's obviously not the final design. It doesn't look great. And then on top of here, I've also started adding little ridges, like different rocks, because it was a little bit flat. From down here, at least, you can see a big difference between flat and then the ridges right there. I think this looks much better. And what's going here is gonna stay a little bit of a secret until I reveal what this biome is gonna actually be. But I think you'll probably find out next episode, or I guess later this episode, depending on what I decide to do. I haven't fully decided because I have not got a lot of content for this video just yet. So there's going to be a whole another probably 30 hours. Hopefully not, actually. I'd like to get something in here and posted, because this is taking a long time and I don't want to burn myself out already. Alright, so it's been a few days since that last clip, and I have even more updates, actually. Well, mostly just one. And we're here. I'll kind of show this off super quick. This is the brand new shopping district. There was an auction today for all these plots, which I'll get into in a second. But this is where all the, well, this is the kind of reserved spot. So you have to pay for these plots over here. There's a free build island over there for anybody to build shops, whatever they want. Over here is going to be more of a city kind of design. Here is Wolf's building. They've got an amazing style and build right here. It looks super cool, and I'm really enjoying it, just even being here and looking at it. They've got some cool signs and stuff on it, and this is kind of the vibe that's going to be kind of placed around here. Now I did have my kind of interest placed on this plot just because it was on this main street. Kind of wanted it to like be on this edge. There's like multiple access points. It would have been great. And I had a stack of diamond blocks actually that I went and mined. Took I don't know, a couple hours. It really didn't take that long. And I kind of put some here because I could not be at the auction because I was at school at the time that the auction was going to happen. Today, actually, on Friday, is when I'm recording this right now. I have no idea when this video is coming out, and I need to do a whole lot more progress. But basically, I threw my interest down, threw some diamonds down as kind of a base price, hoping that nobody would kind of pass it. Somebody did, 65 blocks, but all good. I placed my second interest kind of over here. From what I understand, some people actually work to kind of help me basically keep this plot. They basically bid up to like 40 blocks. So I've thrown 40 blocks in here. I'll probably throw some extra diamonds at some people that helps, because I really appreciate them helping with getting this plot. But this is the plot. It's mine. I own it. I don't know if we're going to start building yet. They have to come around and kind of collect diamonds. Wolf is going to go over someone's stream just to make sure that this is the actual price. I don't really mind if I overpay, because it's really not that big of a deal. Looks like someone's over there with phantoms. But I already have a design for this, actually. I designed it for that one, so I'm going to have to kind of move some things around in the schematic. But I need to go collect a ton of materials and then build this place up, because I have a pretty cool idea for a shop. I don't know that it will necessarily get us a ton of business, but I think it would be sort of a fun thing to do. It would also give us some extra stuff to do on the server whenever we get bored or want to take a break. We can come back here and perhaps we can take some orders. You'll see what I'm talking about once we get this place built. Well, I think it turned out pretty well. There's actually a few things that I want to go ahead and do with you guys. First of which is this kind of blank area over here. I actually should probably keep the schematic on, but for this first part, we're going to do a little display of what we're selling in here. So we're going to put a little bit of dirt and moss. Let's see. I need to turn back on the schematic. I'm not going to tell you guys what exactly I'm selling just yet, or like what the shop is, because it's more than just these items that I'm about to place in here. But maybe you'll get an idea. I think you'll get a better idea once we do the second part of this. This one is going to be sand, and this top one is stone. There we go. Okay, and then I have a cool holographic thing that I'm going to do super quick, and I'll show you in a second. And there we are. It's supposed to look like a little bit of a hologram kind of thing. Kind of got very cyberpunky with this build, so I kind of threw that in there. Also adds a little bit more yellow with that pop of color. I like the yellow accents on here. I think it's looking very cool. And it also displays a little bit of what we're selling in here. Just a few of the couple items that we will be selling inside of this store, along with a little bit of a different service as well. But we'll get to that in a minute. There's also one more thing that I'd like to do with this little sliver here. And I think I'll wrap it around back here, maybe over to here as well. But first, in order to do that, I need mangrove, and I don't have any. So we're going to head to the mangrove forest real quick, or swamp. I'll grab some mangrove planks and stuff, and then we'll get working on that. Alright, I've got my mangrove here. I'm going to throw something down, and then actually I'll come back. This is going to be kind of hard to do while talking, so one second. Alright, as you may be able to tell, it's supposed to say terraform, T-R-F-R-M. That's the best I could do for here. This is going to say something as well as the back here. Nobody's probably going to see it, but it'll just, I think it's going to say dirt and stone, just kind of showcase what we're selling here. And then I think I want to add a little bit of a, like, I guess cell tower kind of thing. There's a block missing. I'll fix that in a second. But like a redstone torch, maybe a lightning rod. It'll protect probably a bit of this area from any like lightning strikes over here. And then also just kind of look cool up there. So I will grab some copper. I also need copper for the trapdoors actually, so I will go grab some of that as well. And then I will see you guys in a second. Once again, I have been very busy. You can see I've got an interior in here. I believe the last time I was recording, I said that I set up this desk. The rest of this I have just done. I'll kind of explain this in a second. I will also tell you what the store is, because I have not told you that yet. And then we also need to set up a book and get a lectern, actually, and I have a couple other things to show you. I was going to say I can go get the book now, but we'll do that later. So this store is basically all about building and terraforming. The title is TRFRM, so terraform is what it's meant to be. So the lettering up there is the sign. You come inside, we have essential right here. So these are kind of the like go-to blocks that you're going to always need whenever you're terraforming or building, I guess. So we got dirt, stone, grass. We have prices set up in here. Grass is annoying to get, so it's 1 per stack. Stone is super easy. 1 per 3, 1 per 2. Dirt's a little bit easier than grass. Deep slate over here, we've got 1 for 2. Just kind of annoying. This is going to be 1 for 1 as well, because I usually don't use silk touch when I'm mining for deep slate. Just because you can't really use deep slate for much, because you can't put it in the stone cutter or anything. So it gets kind of useless. And then over here, we have moss, which I need to make a moss farm for. It's 1 for 32, because it's really annoying to get for me right now. Once we have a moss farm, this will probably be way cheaper. Sand, we have 1 for 2. Pretty easy to get, so we've actually already made like 2 sales, I guess. I'm actually going to grab both of these. No, I already took a stack out, that's why that's missing. I have this little revenue chest. You can see, well, technically I made 3 diamonds. This is from the other part of the store. So the other kind of thing for the store, which the book is going to be for, is you can basically hire me to design, build, both, do whatever. So Deep Slate Cinema's right here, which is Premiere Momentum's shop that's going to go here. It's actually pretty cool. This is some mod that you have to have in order to see it. But basically he can like put YouTube videos on signs and it'll show up in a big screen. So helped him kind of upgrade the face of his cinema right here. So I got 10 diamonds for that. That's all I charged. It wasn't too hard to do. So that will be coming in soon. And I've just designed a new shop for right up here. It's a giant tower, which I'll probably show a little time-lapse montage thing in a minute. I have to go collect a ton of materials for it, so not super sure. However, there is one thing I'd like to talk about, and it's that I've kind of been throwing so many projects at myself right now, and I really don't want to get burnt out. So I need to kind of tell myself to slow down and work on one thing at a time. So I think I'm going to try and get Shop Prop is his name. I'm going to get his shop set up right here as my kind of main focus right now because it is his shop, so my stuff can wait. More specifically, my base, the mountains and stuff, because that's something that I need to kind of get back to because I haven't worked on it in probably a hot minute. I'm up to 62 hours already for this episode, so I've been really working, getting the shop, designing, getting gear, lots of building, and actually that leads me to something that I'm doing right now. I was talking to Wolf, and we were talking about Christmas decorations, so I have set up these little garland, I think is what they're called, for kind of... I need to sleep. Give me a second. This thunder's kind of loud. But basically we set up a bunch of kind of garland on the telephone wire things that are running across here, with some ornaments with the custom mini blocks. And right now I'm adding little string lights. I think I'm going to do it to each of these lines. So there will only be 4, but I think it could look cool once it's done. And then I'm going to alternate lanterns and soul lanterns, I think. I just have to go get soul torches to actually be able to do that. But other than that, not a whole lot has happened. Just Christmas decorations. There's actually one more thing I want to show you. I did this little custom present thing. It uses concrete, and then I use glass panes. It's not fully centered, but whatever. I used glass panes as, I guess, the wrapping, the thing to tie it together, the string. Ribbon, I guess. Jeez, I cannot think about what to say. This uses 3 armor stands, 1 for each glass pane, and then 1 for this little quartz as a little bow. I'm only going to do a couple because I don't want to lag people out with the armor stands. Obviously, this stuff will come down probably come January, but I wanted to get some stuff up before Christmas, per Wolf's request. I also just saw that these bushes here, I think, need to go into the other trees over here, which means this might be covered. I might have to move this stuff. We'll see. I'll leave it for now, but there's some work that still has to be done here. This is a brand new shopping district, but it's looking great so far. We've been kind of talking. I've talked to a few different people. We're all really excited to see what it's going to look like when all these shops come in, because looking down the street with all these tall buildings off to either side is going to look super cool. Just walking down, it's going to add a whole lot of life to this. And I believe there's new islands that are going to come out this way. So Future Western Island, that's cool. I believe there's multiple islands and they're all going to have a theme. This is Southern Island. I'm not sure what other islands are going to go out here, but I know this is the bridge to the free build island, so you don't have to pay for these plots. I think they're actually paying people to move their shops here, because they made over like 8 stacks of diamonds, I believe, just from all the people that bought these shops. Like 8 stacks of diamond blocks, I mean. You know, there's a lot of extra diamonds, and they're kind of trying to incentivize people to move their shops from over there over to the new shopping district, because if everything's around here, it's going to feel way more lively as people fly around and walk through all these, and it'll be super cool. But I'm going to get to gathering a crap ton of materials. There's a lot that has to go into this build. It's like 100 blocks tall. I designed it, and I'm kind of sort of regretting it just because of how much work it's going to be, but it's going to look cool. So I guess let's get to gathering a ton of materials, mostly concrete and a ton of quartz, and then I can get to building. That pretty much marks the end of this build, minus a few little things I need to do. First of which, I need to get a ton more oak wood. I have gone through probably like 2 shulker boxes worth of oak logs already, specifically because of this, but also this takes an insane amount of oak planks. I even switched to using slabs instead of blocks like the original design, and it's still taking forever to actually get through all these. Prop has already started throwing stuff in here. I did say that he has a couple floors available to build on already. They're not finished. They're just ready for him to... I need to fix that. I'll do that in a minute. But they're ready for him to kind of change the walls up however he wants. I don't know how he's going to want this to kind of end. So there's space back here for whatever he wants to do. But there's many, many more floors to go. I just don't have the oak wood for it right now, which leads me to another thing that I think I might do later. But there is also one last tweak I need to make. Right on the back here, you can see it's floating, which looks terrible, if we're going to be completely honest. I use netherrack here because I know I'm going to change all this. I think I'm going to do a custom cliffside over here. Do a little bit of terraforming. I won't charge extra. Prop is already actually paid, so we'll go over and check out his payment back in the shop. He said he left it in a shulker box, so we'll go over there in a minute. Where did that just go? There it is. Bop. But yeah, so I need to get my hands on a couple materials. I actually need to probably go mine a lot and get a ton of dirt because the rest of my dirt is currently in my shop. I think I said it was open. There's also a whole lot more that I want to add to it. I actually have a list. If we go here, anywhere it says add, that's what I want to add to the shop. So I'm going to do that sometime soon, and that also means we're going to add more floors, kind of with different themes. So I think the next floor is going to be foliage. I might do another floor that's like other dimension blocks, so maybe endstone and netherrack for like, well, different dimensions. Anything that's not from this world, we'll put on that floor. And I guess we'll keep going up until we don't have enough space with different things. So, right here, actually, here's our 32 diamonds. I have already put it in my little profit tracker that I made. If we look here, these are all the diamonds we've made so far. 46 already, which is pretty insane. Most of it from this giant building that I just built. So, there's our diamonds so far. I will actually store these in here. A few more down here. That's the rest of the profits. And that's kind of where we're at right now. This next clip, I kind of explain basically how a farm kind of sucked. It didn't really work. I just decided not to include it because it just wasn't a great wood farm. That's what it is, by the way. I made a tree farm. Probably should have explained that. But basically, it just like didn't work as well. So I kind of explained what I did instead. I just gave a little context because I did cut out that part of the video. Anyways, thank you for watching this far. The video is almost over, so stay tuned and you can see some pretty good progress on something brand new. Either that farm just isn't very good, or I just don't have enough bone meal to be running it. But it's way too slow and it does not yield enough resources for what I need, so I actually just ended up going back to my base and mining out more of that oak forest, where we're kind of building that facade of a landscape over top of the hill. So I got some extra wood. I have not added much onto his shop over here. I wanted to get my next floors in here, just kind of as priority, I guess. But what I have done is set up these next 2 floors. So this one is going to have all the foliage. Oop, if I can not fall off. So all the leaves back there, some grasses, moss, all those kind of things. And then up here is going to be the nether and end section. So netherrack, endstone, basalt, all those kinds of things. And with that, I have added a 3rd book. There's quite a bit to read, but this one you don't really need to unless you want to. Same with this one, that's just to order a service like for me to build for you. This one, though, is going to tell you what's sold on each floor and kind of the category. So in brackets are the things that are going to be put in here. Obviously, these 2 floors you don't have access to yet. It does say new stock coming soon. So these aren't open for business yet. I have to get them stocked and everything. But I think the next thing I want to do is go gather a ton of materials to stock at least this bottom floor. I'm actually missing a trapdoor there. There we go. I'd actually like to, yeah, go grab a bunch of this stuff. I do have to move moss upstairs, which means that opens a spot, which I will probably put sandstone there. smooth sandstone anyway. Probably move that over there. Just kind of switch some things around since I have opened the, well, not open, but I've created an upstairs for us to begin selling more things. And actually, one thing I forgot to add to here is I want to add mud down here. I probably am not going to do packed mud, just because it will be kind of annoying to do. I'm going to have to move some stuff around. So we will move everything back a page, just like so. And then we will add this here with brackets because it's coming soon, and then mud. Because it'll be another good thing to add down here. In my to-do list, I've kind of been adding more things that I want to add. So stock all these things, of course. I've done this. I mean, I technically have done this. I need to stock them all though, so I'm not going to take them off just yet. Muds, mossy blocks, tough is already here. Someone actually just bought some. I need to grab the diamonds out of there. Terracotta and ice. Someone was asking for ice earlier, and I thought that that would be a good thing to put in the shop. And right here, tough. Someone has bought a full stack, so 2 diamonds. And we can add this to our profits. Let's see, I do have a chest down here. I don't really need it. I could just throw it in here. And we will add this to our profits tracker, where we can put tough, and then we will do +2, or +2 diamonds. This is up to 48 now, I believe. Hopefully all that math is right. We'll keep moving on to next pages whenever we get more orders and stuff. But I'm going to head out and probably go gather a few materials. It probably won't be recorded because it's just not something that's like super, I don't know, contentable. It's obviously not a word, but you know, I can't really turn it into much other than another kind of montage or time lapse, which I have done plenty of today. So I'm gonna kind of just go do this off camera, and then I'll come back with hopefully a stock shop. All right, so from kind of the start of the video until now, it's been kind of project after project, and it's kind of jumped around a lot, and I need to tone it down. So I'm going to do that by starting another project. I saw Rod's little, he said light rail, whatever. I don't actually know what that is. I'm assuming it's like a floating train, basically, or like some sky train. And that made me really want to add our train station from, from the old server. And I really want to get started. So I think I'm going to maybe start on the redstone. I'd have to find an area to put it. Maybe this is a bad idea. I should probably work on something else. All right. So everything has just snowballed into a giant kind of multi-person project. And now I have gotten approval to build one right here, and it's going to be an official train station to connect like everybody. So I guess we got some work to do. Alpixis actually came over to me after I said something in chat as kind of a joke, but also not. I wanted to build the train station. I don't know. He wanted to go get a bunch of redstone materials, so he's working on crafting all of that stuff. I'm going to probably throw down a sign to kind of, I guess, label this area, because there's also random other chests over here. But I do know that, like, yeah, of course I know. But Wolf came over here. He said that he will cut down some of these trees. This was basically to tell someone not to build here, because there's a central path that's going to be a bridge straight to shopping district. From here, I think it curves, probably to this island that someone's going to make. And then it'll go out. So trying to keep everything connected. We're going to have multiple ways of doing that now. And I need to, so he's going to actually cut down these cherry trees and then use some of this wood to mark out, basically reserve this area, say that something's going to be here, and that's going to be our train station. And someone else is building some monorail system, which I think we might connect to kind of this same hub. I'm going to have to build a rather large island, or not island, jeez, I just read chat. A rather large kind of train station underground to make sure we can fit everything and fit everybody's bases and everything that we could possibly need. So we're going to need to probably make it, I guess, customizable so that we can continue expanding the entire hub itself for more and more bases. I have been getting to work. along with the help of a couple other people, we have dug down to Y28, I want to say. Yep, 28. And it's actually going to go further because uh, if you have seen my other videos on Perplexion, where I did my automatic train hub from design, well, I guess not design, but the idea was from Bars. He's not PG, so don't go watch him if you can't watch that. But he's a great YouTuber, does some amazing builds. But this whole idea was inspired by him. He's got a very similar system that he came up with, so I take zero credit for the idea. But this is a way larger, like scaled up version of what that is. Both what I made and what he made. He's on a single player hardcore world when he made it, so obviously when it gets put onto a bigger server, it kind of has to be scaled up. The way it works, this is you press the button, lights up the little track, I guess, and then you send it off down to this tunnel that will be right here, and each portal will be a different location. It takes you through the nether just to cut out some travel time. Basically, you press the button, it activates that rail for that location, turns it, and you go through the nether. And end out eventually at the station at that person's location base, whatever it may be. I have a general idea of what the design is going to be. It's going to come out on the top, and it's going to have, that wasn't very helpful, kind of a semi-cylinder, I guess is what you'd call it. Basically arching over this way. That's the part that's going to be on top. The rest is, well, a rectangle, and I don't know how to design it yet. So we're going to get to work. I think I want this bottom part to be stone bricks and like textured stone and all that stuff. So I'm going to get to work on that, and we'll design the walls later. I have another progress update. Except I think that might be the last one for this episode. I think I'm going to leave the rest of this kind of for next episode. There's a lot to do, so I think I could probably fill up the video quite a bit with all the work that we have to do. Basically, what has happened is I wanted to, well, wanted to might be a little stretch. Haru came over, he brought up the issue about chunk loading. For this design, originally I went with kind of pistons and slime blocks and stuff, but the issue with pistons is if they got unloaded, they can oftentimes break, kind of get stuck in one position, and then we have to like update the block. So, not a great idea. So, Haru basically thought of the idea to use a hopper system. What will basically happen is a minecart you'll place here still, that all still works the same, but instead a minecart chest will fall from the ceiling here onto here. Once the minecart goes, there's a whole system that launches it with you. And the purpose of that minecart chest is it has some kind of ID or identifier for each base. So it'll basically be like either a piece of paper or an iron nugget that has like either it's going to be like location 1 or it's going to say their base. So it could be like Aiden's base. And then there will be a little sorter right here. So just a simple item sorter. This is very not optimized right now. I have to kind of go through and optimize this first before we actually build them all the way down. But basically, it will only accept that item. So if the item is accepted into this one, it'll basically unlock this rail, turn it, and send it this way, just long enough for both minecarts to get through, and they'll get separated. Similar to this, where the minecart chest, this is a hopper, but the minecart chest will get sent off, probably sent off on another trail out back to the kind of main central system, or I guess over it would be over here in this case. But it would go back into a water stream, send it through a different set of sorters back into the correct module, and also save us the minecarts to redeploy from up here. So we're not going to have to continuously remake stuff. But to give you an idea of how all this works, this was mostly pretty much all designed by Haru. I kind of understand it, so I'm not going to like fully explain it because I'll probably butcher it. It's kind of hard to see because now I've covered it up with a wall. But this is kind of the locking system. There's a confirmation system as well, a cancel system, just to make sure nothing can kind of break. So what happens is you press the base you want to go to, you press confirm your selection, and then you'll get the note block sound. Minecart comes on, and the systems we need to add are just adding that minecart. But let's say you kind of clicked the wrong one. Let's cancel selection. Everything goes back. And how this works over here is the minecart would have already fallen through here. But what happens when you press cancel is this gets powered as well as this rail turns. So it launches it into a cactus and then into a hopper, which will eventually lead back into that same system, similar to how the sorter is going to work. Like when it splits the minecarts, it'll send it through back into the main system with the identifiers, and then the minecart will end up back up top, be launched again. Basically, everything got very complicated very quick, but I think it's for the better, honestly, because things are just going to work so much more smoothly. Everything can, it kind of has a foolproof design. Obviously, it probably isn't fully foolproof because, well, there's got to be some way to break it because there always is. It's redstone. But we have tested, you can actually click these like as fast as you want and it won't break. It will also work. I can cancel. I can go ahead and do this. It'll still cancel it. Everything will be fine. It'll shut off. And nothing actually breaks. So that's awesome. It wasn't like fully intended like that. But the way it was built, it is kind of, I guess it fixes itself. So it's very cool. Now what needs to happen is basically all of this stuff. Portals also have to be lowered. Can't do it at Y28 or 32, whatever. I think it's 32 that I was originally going to do it at because it links to the portals up here still. So I have to go down to basically Y0 or as low as I can to like bedrock and the nether, because otherwise we're going to run into more issues with linking portals with people up here, and that is the last thing I want to do. I want to keep this separate. I don't want to interfere with anybody else. Keep it, I guess, friendly to everybody else. We have to build all the modules both on this side and over there so that we can connect these two, which goes along with this. We have to link the two confirm buttons because basically what happens, this has a lock on it, so you can't confirm something twice because then it will send two minecarts. So we have to somehow link this button and the button that will be over there just so that you can't be confirming one over here and over there at the same time, which contributes to the whole not breaking thing. Portal module design, so that's the sorter out by the portal. It just needs to be optimized and then kind of fixed. We already talked about the portals lowering, we talked about this, and of course decorating. But I think I am gonna leave it off there. It's been a little bit of a longer episode. I thought I had like no content, but I started editing and I'm up to almost like 40 minutes now. So I guess I had a lot more content than I thought. Today was very, I guess, jumpy. It jumps around to a lot of different projects. Hopefully next episode, chapter, whatever I call them, we can kind of narrow in on what we actually want to do rather than jumping around a ton. I definitely want to work on this, and we also really need to get back to our base because the cliffs aren't going to build themselves, and the custom biome is definitely not going to kind of grow itself. So maybe next episode we can get to work on that, and maybe you'll get a better idea of what the biome's going to be, which will be fun. And hopefully we can finally get a base in, because we also need to get a station set up at our base so that we can actually use the main central hub here that we're building. And because we do need a permanent station at the base, we're going to have to find a nice spot for that that won't really interfere with too much of the design and all of that. But thank you all for watching. If you did enjoy, of course, liking and subscribing are always very appreciated. Check out my Twitch. I've been sort of streaming every once in a while whenever I can. Obviously with school, I don't have a ton of time, so it's kind of random. Whenever I have the time, I will stream. But we actually worked on a little bit of stuff in here, so if you want to see stuff like that, go check out my Twitch. It will be in the description. But until next time, I will see you later. Goodbye.